Anyway, lots of people would think that I had something to do with a lot of this stuff. No, no. Zachary was a fucking nutsoid idiot. Like I say, I could run you through everything that happened and even show you the video clips. Probably not here at the place, but I could even show you. There was a massive investigation. Like I said, it wasn't. They actually claimed it was sickness actually, and they actually said it was they just got sick or something, and they actually thought it was plague. And like I said, the doctors finally went and looked. The German doctors looked at what had happened, and like I said, there's even video evidence of all the bodies, and you see this gorgeous, beautiful girl basically laid out on a table, and they're looking at like her pelvis or whatever, and you see all these little holes, little bitty. They look like pinpricks. They're about the size of like if you look at this wire. Like I said, the wire the metal like it doesn't lose its energy. It just stays white hot and really hot, and the needle mark, then the holes in her body were about like the size of a needle, but there were millions of them, billions or millions of these little guys. They were about yay big, and it looked like somebody had taken a needle, and after the LSL shell went off. Let me see if I can get. It looked like somebody had literally taken a piece of metal or a needle and literally just shoved it through this beautiful girl's body, like all the way through. After the shell passed, basically as the shell was going off, it was giving off all these little hot pieces of metal. About like it wasn't radiation that killed the people. No. It was. It looked like basically a little speck of matter had basically gone from the shell basically out into the party goers in the audience, and it looked like these girls and these guys had gotten just little pieces of needles had been shoved through every single one of them, hundreds of them, basically. It wasn't radiation either, by the way. It was just like as if someone had taken a little piece of metal and just gone through every single one of them a million times, basically. And what that was that was one of those dense pieces of uranium or one of the dense pieces of metal, basically a couple little set of particles going really fast, and so it burned its way through everything, and the beautiful girl's body, her actually they said some of the girls their clothes seemed to fall. Actually, what they said was. What they said was is their clothes seemed to fall off. Some of the girls were wearing bikinis and stuff like that. These little skin tight string bikinis, and their bikinis just fell off, basically. Like the party goers that were closest to the shell as it passed, the girls' bras and the girls' clothes just seemed to fall off because they had straps that went down here like this, and when it went through, it literally cut the straps off, basically off their clothes. So their underwear, they found the girls naked and the guys naked. The girls naked. They didn't have their underwear. It looked like someone had ripped off their underwear because it was the underwear just fell. The little skin tight bikinis just fell off. And at first, some of the girls went down like this and grabbed. There's video of it actually. It's really disturbing. Like you see everyone's clothes fall off, all the girls' clothes, because there's some girls a little closer. There's cameras that recorded a lot of it. I don't know how exactly. I think the cameras were protected enough or something like that. Or at least I saw it basically. Of course, I'm Lucifer, so like we could. I wanted to know what happened, so we found out what happened. And basically, like I said, if you saw it from my perspective. What you would see is basically the girls' bras just fall off in their underwear and their panties fall off, and the guys kind of look up at like it's kind of strange or whatever, and they don't really know what's wrong. Like I say, they know something's wrong, but they don't really know what's wrong, and like I say, some of them touch their forehead, and they like some of them feel wet, and they touch their forehead, and they're kind of confused, and there's blood on their hands. And stuff like that, and like I say, the girls they're looking down and their bras are missing, and it looks like they've been hit by some sort of drug or something, because they're all kind of like looking kind of like confused and worried, and kind of they don't really know they look weird, but they're dying inside basically. When the LSL shell goes off and goes by, as soon as he pulls the trigger, he goes, and basically, like I say, it got about 20 feet away or 30 feet away, and that's when it becomes like, and it's red hot and basically it's just giving off all these particles. And this happened like in 1940, 1930 or something like that. And like I say, it went by the party goers, and you see the girls. I saw the girls, their bras just fall off, and they kind of like look. You can notice that something is different about them, but you don't really know what. And like I say, some of the guys they take their hands and they look at their hands and it's bloody, and they don't really know why. Like they're bleeding they're bleeding somehow, and it's like. And then they look and they're all confused and kind of dazed. And like I say, it's not really a radiation effects. They have millions or billions of pinholes in them. And like I say, and like the doors open up on some of the vans, and some of the guys step out and kind of like on the ground. It depended on how close they were to the shell basically, and pretty much like the DJ, everyone. They found millions of pinholes in the speakers. They found millions of pinholes in the blocks of the engines. They found millions of pinholes everywhere. They basically just burned until it stopped. Little Zachary had pulled the trigger on that thing, and like I said, they were like little needles had gone through every single one. Like I said, they went like this, and they went. I think the camera stopped working actually. Anyway, I saw it though because I am Lucifer Star, and I saw what I wanted to know, and I want to know what happened. I mean I didn't know they used one of my shells. If I had known, I would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? Those things are psychotically. I mean, they just build an energy until the particles go off. People. Anyway, those poor women and children. Anyway, nobody knew what an LSL was. It's not really particularly all. It is radioactive and it is dangerous to be around. But when it goes off, when you light one off, they had no idea what a starlight shell was. They thought it was like light ordnance is what they thought it was. Like light something ordnance, or like I don't know. I don't know what they thought. They just saw LSLS and decided to shoot it off because someone had a cannon. Anyway, yeah, so it killed everybody in the party. Like 75,000, maybe 250,000 people died that day. And Zachary was the trigger man. And anyway, like I said, it went through the target, went through everything. And like I said, women's clothes fell off. And people, they thought at first that the women, that there was like a mass rape or something like that. But it was like, no, these girls didn't get raped. Everyone just died. They died I think they died within 5 minutes, if I remember right. 5 to 45 minutes, depending on how much what matter or how much stuff was. It went through the walls. They looked at the walls, and they saw pinholes in all the walls. They went right through it, like it was nothing. Anyway, you can look it up. The first time the shell was used, which is probably around 1940, 1950, I don't know, somewhere around there, at a party, and a bunch of kids playing around with something they had no idea what it was, and it's like a lesson to if you find something in a lead-lined case and you open it up and it says LSL on it, LSLS on it. I mean, you don't really know what it is until you fire it off, and this was the first time they were firing it, I guess, or the first time they had ever had people around it when it fired. So anyway, yeah, they all died. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't even know they had gotten hold of my shells. Like they had stolen them basically. We were, I was just told that someone stole my, that they were actually. I didn't even know they were missing actually at first, and then there was the party and all the dead people, and it's like. And then there's all the pinholes, and they're like, well, what's going on? And the Germans kind of knew. Nobody knew, really. It would take them years to figure out, and they finally found the case with the words LSL on it. I mean LSLS on it, and I could have told them.